Hello, everyone. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, and my dear friends. I'm your Sergeant at Arms, Seema Farheen, acting Sergeant at Arms. Before we proceed for the meeting, please turn off your cell phones. Set your theme on silent mode. I will give you 1 second. Can you please proceed to turn off your cell phone or mute your cell phone? Yeah, let's start the meeting. Toastmaster promise. The mission of a Toastmaster club. Can you place your hand on the right side? Toastmaster promise. The mission of a Toastmaster club is to provide supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. May I now please welcome our Toastmaster of the day, Amina Khanum, on the platform. Welcome, Amina Khanum, Toastmaster of the day.
Supposed to be the president first.
President first.
I would like to call the president of the meeting, Amina.
Okay.
Oh, Salma Shebu.
Okay. Thank you so much, Seema. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Books and Banter Toastmasters Club. I'm so sorry, still outside, Ramadan time, a lot of preparations. Plus, I have extra classes that I'm doing, so hope you understand all. Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Rajan, for joining us tonight, and Toastmaster Shweta, thank you so much for making it and joining us tonight. We are not just a club that meets and talk. We are a group that believes in the power of reading. Here, we come together under one roof because we believe that books matter and reading also matters. Reading stories help us understand people. Reading about life help us grow. And every book we choose open our minds, shape our thoughts, and of course, slowly changes who we are. In our club, each meeting is built around one book. We explore it together through discussion, activities, and fun quizzes. And don't worry, even if you haven't read the book, you will still feel included and involved. And I can assure this because tonight we have an amazing lady who will be hosting the activity. Our goal is simple. We encourage reading, bring people together under the love of books, and to grow not only as speakers, but as thinkers too. So, are you ready for today's meeting? Hope all are.
Yes.
Great. By this, I open meeting number 7 for Books and Banter Toastmasters Club. Okay. I have to go outside because it's super noisy. Now let's dive into the meeting. So tonight we have an amazing, active, inspiring leader who will be hosting the full meeting for us. She is a great leader, an inspiring friend, and a leading mentor who is there behind each and every one, not just to support, but to bring them up. She's an amazing mother of 2 amazing daughter and son. She's a very active person, despite all the challenges that she's facing all the time. I love her McDonald's smile whenever she has, but now she doesn't have it. So please help me to welcome the inspiring leader of District 116 for all of us, Toastmaster Amina Khanum, Toastmaster of the Day. Stage is yours, sweetheart. Or mic is yours, sorry.
Thank you so much, Madam President. You are not supposed to give away my secret. The McDonald's smile is for special times and not to be disclosed to everyone. I hope they don't know when that McDonald's smile comes, so you can't decode. Okay, enough about my smile. Coming back to our meeting. Firstly, I need to see some faces. I cannot speak to a black screen. Appreciate if everyone can turn on your cameras and be engaged with us fully for the next couple of hours, because I plan to talk to you, discuss with you, and hopefully get some ideas from you on the book, on the story we're talking about today, and in general about life. So, are you ready? Cameras on, lights on, action. All right, diving right into our story today. I'm going to start with the opening. Between the silver ribbon of morning and the green glittering ribbon of sea, the boat touched Harwick. There was nothing about him to indicate that the grey jacket covered a loaded revolver, or that the straw hat covered one of the most powerful intellects in Europe. For this was Valentine himself, coming to make the greatest arrest of the century. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Books and Banter's meeting number 7, where we are going to discuss The Innocence of Father Brown, a book that was written somewhere in a past life in 1911. I want to know how many of you have actually read the book, either partially or completely. Raise your hands, type any emoji to indicate you are listening and understood my question.
I'm listening and I haven't read the book.
You haven't read the book. Wow. And that was, ladies and gentlemen, a recommendation from Shakshi herself.
I know.
So I assume you have read it sometime before? No?
I just read the synopsis and I suggested it.
Brilliant. Okay, so Sakshi, the first question for today. Why did you pick this book?
It seemed intriguing. I believe the title itself was very, very intriguing. He seemed like a figure that can do no harm. So the fact that he was getting arrested, I wanted to see what was it about. Was he the one who had done something or somebody framed him? So the title itself was very, very intriguing.
Interesting. Let's find out together. How about anyone else? Have you heard of the book? Any thoughts on the book? What have you come in expecting today?
After what I have seen in that flyer, I just searched using the AI, we can just circle and search. So I came to know that it is related to something like some investigation or something. So I found it interesting, and then I told Amina, yeah, I'll be joining. That's what I'm expecting. Yeah, thank you.
Brilliant. Anyone else want to share your thoughts?
Yeah, I want to share because I heard the story 2-3 years ago, and I had seen the play also regarding this Father Brown.
Wow.
He was a priest, and means he's not a detective, but he is detective. Yeah. Okay.
You are not supposed
So,
to give away my story.
okay. So that's all. I heard the story and I had seen the play.
Thank you so much. Yes, Asya.
I am so tempted to speak, but I'm going to save my words for my speech. Otherwise, I'll run out of words. So, yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for engaging with me. Let's dive back into the story. So we were talking about Valentine. Valentine is a central character in the book. He was the greatest detective in Europe. And in the starting scene of the book, the opening scene, he has just arrived in England. He is hunting a particular criminal. The criminal's name is Hercule Flambeau, who is a master criminal. Now, Flambeau was known to be 6 feet 4 inches tall, and he was a genius of disguise. And somewhere in London is where he is hiding. Now, every meeting has some storytelling, some mystery, some fun, and that's what we are going to have today as well. Moving away from our story, let's come back to our meeting and see what we have in store. Today, we have a short and sweet but powerful lineup of amazing speakers and amazing evaluators. And then we have a really exciting twist to the table topics, which will be led by Toastmaster Shakshi. And finally, we will have the general evaluation, which will be conducted by our general evaluator, Toastmaster Asya, in her own style, mind you. Remember, Books and Banters is an advanced club. Here, we don't do things the traditional way. We like to do things with a twist. As you all know, Toastmaster Asya, Toastmaster Nisha are members of our club, but they are also members of District 127 in Dubai, and they bring their own flavor to these meetings. So let's see what our general evaluator has in store for us as well. Now, coming back to the meeting, tonight we have some sharp observers in the room. Our timer today is none other than Toastmaster Dilip Nalli. He is the District TLI co-chair and District webmaster. With his attention to structure and clarity, he is going to ensure that we respect time, because every suspense must be disciplined. So, Toastmaster Dilip, could you please explain your role to us? All right, he requested to take the role intro at the last. So I'm going to quickly move on to our grammarian. Our grammarian is the dynamic, charming president of our club. She is a master's student, multitasker, ultimate multitasker, I should say, doing a pharmacist role at a clinic, as well as the creative face behind medical episodes on Care and Cure Instagram. And now she has her very own fun, hilarious channel, which you all must go and follow, which is called Ahmed and Salma. Look out for it and stay tuned for some really painful, hysterical laughs. She is going to ensure that we craft our words beautifully and ensure that our language is top-notch this meeting. So please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Salma Shaiboob to the virtual stage. Toastmaster Salma, please explain your role.
Thank you for this amazing introduction. Good evening once again. I'll make it fast. As your grammarian for today, my word of the day is concise. Concise means saying something in a short and clear without extra words or extra explanation. In our Books and Banter meeting, being concise is important. As we share our thoughts about a book, we want to express our ideas clearly and briefly. So for example, as an example for using the word of the day, her book review was clear and concise, highlighting the main ideas without too many details. I encourage you all to use the word concise during the meeting. I'll also be listening for strong vocabs and good language usage, so be aware. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Salma, for that concise introduction to your role and the word of the day. Let us welcome now our counter. She is an Ayurvedic doctor turned businesswoman, a Toastmaster since 2023, immediate past president of BRS Toastmasters, someone who loves reading and creativity. And to me, she is a master of vocabulary. She is one of the few articulate members I have met in Toastmasters who really knows how to put her thoughts across very beautifully and structured, really, really nice. So let's hear more from her so that we can learn from her. Please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Nisha Mohammed to the virtual screen to present her role. Toastmaster Nisha, the screen is all yours.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
I
evening.
actually gave Toastmaster Amina a concise introduction, and she decided it's not enough. Let's put something from my part also. So today, I am ready to watch all the fillers you are going to use to make your speech look beautiful, just like the fillers we put on our face. So, as an accounter, today my role is to watch out for the words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone. I'm not going to spare anyone. Keep in that mind. During the meeting, I will listen of overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. Also, I like, maybe, that's it, this is. So many are there for me to catch out. I will report the number of the times that each speaker used all these crutch filler words. Toastmaster Amina, I have already started marking you. So over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nisha. And as I said, let's listen from her to learn from her and learn from her indeed. Coming back to our story, now that we have heard from all our inspectors for the night, let us return to London. On the train, Valentine meets a small Catholic priest. Round face, shabby umbrella, clumsy parcels. No, that wasn't me. That was a gentleman who is a priest carrying a princess silver cross, the blue cross. This priest is someone Valentine catches eye of and loses track of Flambeau because he did. Something strange begins happening across the city. In the train where they met, the priest mentions that he is carrying this priceless silver cross, the blue cross, which Valentine warns him not to tell everyone about. And strangely enough, as Valentine went through the city, really, really weird things started happening. Starting at a restaurant, salt in the sugar bowl, sugar in the salt cellar, soup flung against a wall. At a fruit stall, labels were swapped. Oranges were apples and apples were oranges. At another cafe, a bill paid 3 times its value and no complaint, only a broken window. What does all this mean? Who is doing all this? We'll come back to that in a bit. Let's hear from our speakers and come back to our story thereafter. So our first speaker today is a master of storytelling, I would say. And to evaluate her, we have none other than Toastmaster Dilip Nali. Toastmaster Dilip, could you please tell us Toastmaster Sakshi's speech objectives?
Amina, I'll be evaluating Toastmaster Sakshi since Toastmaster Dilip taken the timer. He has taken the timer back, that's why.
Please note GE Toastmaster Dilip is back to timer, and Salma will be evaluating Toastmaster Sakshi. Salma, could you please state the speech objectives? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. Okay, the purpose of this project for the member to learn about different communication styles and identify his or her primary style. The member should share the impact of his or her style on others. So, all the best to our brilliant and amazing sister, Toastmaster Sakshi. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much. Toastmaster Sakshi. Now, what can I say about her? Her journey began in 2021 with a degree in banking and fintech, and guided by her motto, Push to Succeed. She has served as Area 13 Director for 2024-2025. Currently, she serves as the Assistant Division D Director, Program Quality. And today, her speech, I hope and I know, is going to inspire us, if not entertain. Toastmaster Sakshi, are you ready? So let us all welcome Toastmaster Shakshi Sukhnani, a work in progress. A work in progress, Toastmaster Shakshi Sukhnani.
Firstly, evaluator, please note I have certain rashes because of which I can't really stand, so I'll be seated. So thank you. Embrace the glorious mess that you are. You're anyways just growing. I repeat, embrace the glorious mess that you are because you're anyways just growing. How many of you agree with this? Raise your hand. Thank you. Thank you for all those hand raises. When I first came across this project, Understanding Your Communication Style, these were the exact words that struck my mind. And there's a reason why I say this. Am I glorious? Am I not? You will know it. Let me take you back to 3 instances in my life that have truly shaped how I think and therefore how I communicate. One of it being truly personal and indeed deep. This happened literally last week. I came across an individual who offered me to be dropped at my place right after work. And I said, yeah, sure. I see you here and there. We talk well. Sure, please drop me. My head is hurting anyways. He dropped me home. We spoke well. And then something didn't sit right with me. In the entire car journey, I felt like I just want to go home real quick because there was this some sense of not feeling very secure. It was my internal gut feeling. From the next day onwards, he would try to find ways to talk to me whilst I was at work. I didn't have the courage to say that, hey, I don't feel very comfortable, so please stop this. And that cost me. Just 3 days ago, I told my boss that, hey, boss, we still have the financial sheets to finish. So I'm going to be finishing those and I will stay after 5:30, which is after my working hours. He, after half an hour or so, popped up into the office and he said that, hey, Sakshi, are you staying late today? I said, yes. He said, let's go together again. I said, I like going by metro, right? I'd said this to him just to dodge the whole situation. He said, I know you. I know you like going by car as well. Just think who would take the metro over car. I said, I like enjoying it. I like enjoying my metro rides. And this is when he said that let me drop you. I said, I don't know for how long am I gonna stay. You know what he said? He said, I don't know how long am I gonna stay for either. Then every 15 minutes, he would come and check, asking me, are you leaving? I'm waiting for you. Are you leaving? I'm waiting for you. I truly felt cornered. I didn't know what to do. And throughout that instance, I was thinking that if in the first time after he dropped me, if I'd said that, hey, just once is enough, that's it. If I had just said those words, I wouldn't have been cornered like that. It was truly uncomfortable for me as a woman. I didn't feel safe. Luckily, my boss had called and he told me that, hey, Sakshi, just walk out of the building and keep talking to me until you reach the metro station. If not for him, maybe I would have gone with him again simply because I didn't know how to turn it down. And I think I was incredibly stupid as well because I failed to define my boundaries. I had heard of instances of workplace bullying, workplace harassment, and this was the first time I truly felt so. This time by an opposite sex. This was the first instance. Now, the second instance, which happened to be bullying by the same sex, is one of my former managers who worked in the same company. However, she forfeited my boss's order and gave me a task to do. When I went back to my boss and I said that, hey, our manager has assigned us this task, he said, okay, you don't have to do this now, do it later. And he told me you have the full liberty to tell her that even though you're my manager, the final boss has said no, so I'm not going to do this. I went back to her. She asked me the update of the task. And guess what I did? I gave her the update of the task. I didn't tell her that no, I cannot do it because I was too scared of the backlash I would receive. And that ended up me doing a project till 3 a.m., which was anyways going to be rejected by my boss because he didn't like the first draft either. So I knew that it was going to be rejected just because I didn't want to get bullied any further. Just for the sake of somebody's happiness and satisfaction, I did a project and I gave it to them so that they don't come back to me. If only I had been more stern, saying that, hey, go talk to the final boss, and until he does not give me a word, I am not going to do the project. This would have been solved. I was being a total pushover. But I learned something from these two circumstances, that sometimes you really have to say it out loud. Sometimes it is not really about putting your point nicely. There are certain people you have to be a little stern with. You can be politically correct, yet be stern. And this is something I really reflected when I was doing this project. There have been various accounts wherein I've been very assertive and confident with the things I wanted. But unfortunately, it was just with the people of the same age of mine. When it comes to hierarchy, I sort of mellow down and I become passive. This is not a nice thing to do. But because I'm learning, I know that I am a glorious mess. And because I have learned, I am growing. So I would like to reiterate what I began with, that embrace the glorious mess you are. But as long as you're learning, you're anyways growing. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Let's have a round of applause for our first speaker who did a phenomenal job sharing a personal story that we all resonate with. Where are your claps, ladies and gentlemen? On the screen, I need to see those emojis. Come on. Coming back to our next speaker. Our next speaker is Toastmaster Seema Farheen. and she is going to be evaluated by distinguished Toastmaster Shweta Raghuraman. Distinguished Toastmaster Shweta, could you please do the honors and explain Seema's speech objectives?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Amina. Um, Excuse me for not turning on my camera because I'm still outside. I'm yet to be home soon. So I will just turn on my camera during my evaluation segment. So please excuse me for that. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, and especially to my target speaker, Toastmaster Seema. Seema will be attempting from the Engaging Humor Pathway Level 3 Project 1 on the Engage Your Audience with Humor project. The purpose of this project is for Seema to determine her style of humor and to apply it to the speech that she will deliver, and it centers around with a central message. Her speech timings are 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Seema, and back to you, Amina.
Thank you so much, DTM Shweta. About our speaker, Toastmaster Seema. She is a computer science engineer, passionate traveler and baker, recipient of the Smart Secretary Award and the prestigious Triple Crown Award in 2025. She is a diligent taskmaster, I should say, who silently but persistently will follow up behind the scenes and ensure things are done. If you want a team player, you need to have her on a team. So please join me in welcoming the lady who truly believes nothing can stop a woman determined to achieve. Toastmaster Seema, are you ready? Toastmaster Seema Farheen, communication builds confidence. Communication builds confidence. Toastmaster Seema Farheen.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, for the warm welcome. Thank you very much. Good evening, Toastmaster of the Day and my fellow Toastmasters. When I joined Toastmasters, I believe something surprising. I will speak confidently only when my English becomes perfect. But while learning communication, I discovered something is lagging behind. Confidence does not come with a perfect English. Confidence comes from practicing communication verbally, because confidence is an important role to play with communication. Today, I would like to share how my confidence build the communication, or you can say communication build my confidence, in 3 lessons. The first lesson I learned where speaking reduces fear. Experts say reduces fear when you face it again and again. I notice myself in me. I notice myself every time. When I face on the stage, fears automatically decreasing my level. The first time I remember after a long time standing on the Toastmaster stage, I spoke about myself in table topic. I was very nervous. My hands were shaking. My voice was very low. Even the front person couldn't listen my voice. That was low my voices. But every time I spoke again and again, the fear becomes smaller and smaller. I learned that way that communication may be a medicine, but yes, for me, it is a medicine of fear. The more you use it, the weaker it becomes, the smaller it becomes. The second lesson which I learned is being heard by self-belief. Now, everyone say what you heard by your self-belief. For me, I remember one meeting. I didn't practice that meeting, that speech. When I was on stage, I was like stumbling. For For myself, the person which I am, first I have to present, I have to read out the objective. I'm that type of person because I fear of communication. Whenever I come, as you have seen in surgeted terms, because I want to read first, then I will be presently, confidently presenting yourself, the speech or whatever the objective may be. First, I have to read out the objective. That was I'm person. But yes, I'm letting out that fear. As I say, I remember one meeting of thought, nothing was there in my speech. I was feared. I didn't practice at all. The grammar was lacking. And I am thinking, hope my fellow Toastmasters would understand me. And yes, when I finish my speech, I receive claps. I receive encouragement. I receive smiles from my fellow Toastmasters. That boosted my energy. And it encourages me. Then at that time, I thought, yes, my voice matters a lot. When people hear us, respect us, we start believing in ourselves that yes, communication is necessary, but it should be in a perfect way. But when you raise your voice, when you express yourself in a presentable way, that voice matters to you and the front person. That lesson I have learned, that being heard is self-belief to me. What I learned in third lesson? The third lesson is the foundation of courage. Confidence is not at all a gift, at least to me. Confidence is about the practicing of communication. As everybody, experts say that practice makes a man perfect. Yes, communication makes a man perfect by practicing too. Each speech make us or make me the last one. And still I'm improving it. I don't let fear to stop me. That is how the communication build my confidence. Through learning and communication, the first stage I learned was speak reduces fear. The second stage is being heard by self-belief. And the third stage I learned was practice creates courage. Today, I still make grammar mistakes, but fear don't stop me. I'm going on and on. So keep speaking, keep learning, and let your communication build your confidence slowly, steadily, step by step. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. That surely deserves a, a loud round of applause. Please share those clap emojis, guys. That's how we can make the virtual thunder of claps. Come on, let's do it. Powerful, powerful speech, Seema. You truly, truly touched my heart, especially because I have seen this journey of courage of yours. I have seen that transformation in you. And with every speech, every idea that you put across, you only make me proud. I stand tall with pride every time you are on the stage. It doesn't matter. As you said, each speech makes you the last one. I disagree. Each speech makes you the most remembered one. Truly, truly, truly loved your speech. I'm sorry. It was very close to my heart, and that's why the emotions. All right, coming back to our story. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your time to answer a few questions. I want to know how much you remembered of the story that I shared so far. So, who was the first character I introduced you to?
Valentine.
And who is he?
He is detective or police.
Yes, he is the
Detective.
detective. And he is in London to look for someone special. Who is that?
Lampo.
Yes. And as he is looking for Flambeau, he meets someone in the train. Who is that? Well, not to stress your brains too much, he is none other than the lead character in this book, Father Brown, the priest. All right, so now we have Flambeau, we have Father Brown, and we have Valentine going all around town in London, but not haphazardly. There have been some clues or some incidences along the way that have been keeping Valentine active. Can anyone tell me what were those weird instances that happened along the way?
One was a broken window.
Yes.
In a cafe,
Yes.
lots of things happen. Salt and sugar, sugar and salt. Oranges were apple, apples were oranges.
Well said, well summarized. And these, my friends, were not accidents. These were actually signals to our lead character, Valentine. So Valentine follows the strange trail all the way to Hampstead Heath. He hides behind a tree, and that is where he meets our two dear priests, let's say, because Flambeau was going around town dressed up as a priest himself. And at all these instances, these were reported by witnesses. Every witness had one thing to say to Valentine. There were two priests here, one of them extremely tall, and one of them round and short and shabby. And this is what they did, and they would narrate the incident. So the journey goes on so far, and now it is time for table topics. The fun part of our meeting, which is going to be led by none other than our next character, let's say, Toastmaster Sakshi. Now, Toastmaster Sakshi, I have given you her intro, so I'm not going to spend time on that, but I'm going to very quickly hand over the virtual screen to her to do the honors of carrying us through the next segment. And Toastmaster Sakshi, I leave it to you to introduce the next segment. Over to you.
Honestly, we don't know if Father Brown is innocent or not yet, but one of you definitely is the traitor. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is our very own segment come table topics, which is who is the traitor? Are you all ready for this? Let me quickly take you through the rules of the game. So, I am your very own moderator. I hope you like listening to my voice. If not, you don't have a choice. So, in this game, I am going to personally DM you all via Zoom chat a certain word. It could be anything. It could be broom, it could be hospital, it could be flying, it could be eating. But there is one traitor amongst you all which will get a separate word. Once the word is received, I will then ask you a series of questions, precisely 10 questions. I will ask one question each to everybody, and you have to answer it in 3 full sentences. The questions would be related to the word that was DM'd to you via chat. And then comes the night of truth. Once my questions are over, all of you will vote for who do you think the traitor is based on the answer. Mind you, when I ask the questions, you cannot say that, yes, I like apples. That is too short. You have to answer it in 3 full sentences. Describe it to the best of your capability. And if you are the traitor, and if the civilians are smart, well, level up your game. So let's play this. Who is ready to catch and to betray? I am not going to start it until I see a full show of hands. People who are not having their
Can you
videos on.
please repeat what the traitor is supposed to do?
Okay. So, the traitor is supposed to just answer to the best of their capability. Okay? Let's say I'm the traitor. Everybody else has gotten the word hotel. Okay? And I have gotten the word guitar. Right? And I am the traitor. The traitor knows that he is the traitor. So he has to guess on the basis of the answers of others what the right word is so that he or she can blend in and can't get caught. If you are still able to catch the traitor, well, honestly, I feel like instead of Valentine, you could be the detective, Toastmaster Asia. So, yes. Is everybody okay with the rules of the game? Has everybody understood it? The timer, Toastmaster Dilip, you don't have to worry. I will time the session. I will ask the questions and you will all figure out who the traitor is. Okay? There you go. But for that, I need maximum people to put their video on because you know, right? Non-verbal communication is also a big thing in catching lies. So you cannot escape. I need the videos on. There were 8 people who had switched on their video. Currently, I see 5. There were 3 more. There you go. Come on, more people, more people. Are you all scared? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can we have at least 2 more people? It'll be fun.
Come on,
Hmm.
Dilip, Salma, and Shweta. I know you guys are outside, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's
Just
just a
shows
game.
your faces. It's a game.
It's a game. A very fun one at that. Let's see who lies the best or who catches the best and eliminate the rest. Okay, there's only 6 people, but that's fine. I am just going to DM the words to all of you, okay? And one of you is the traitor, okay? So now wait for the DMs. If once I've sent all DMs, I'm going to confirm if all of you have gotten it via private Zoom chat, okay? I'm DMing it. Has everybody received the word? Can everybody raise their hands if you've received the word? So, there has been a question. So, just 3 sentences, but not talking about the thing, yes? Well, yes, you can answer the question, right? But you don't have to hint to the word directly. Because if you hint to the word directly, the traitor would know, right? And we don't support the traitor here. We support the civilians. So, I am just going to move forward based on who I see on my screen, right? Or let me just make it a bit fun. I'm just going to go based on who I see on my participants list. Okay? Just remember 3 full sentences. You cannot escape by just having 1 sentence as your answer. Are you all ready? So, based on my participants list, the first person is Toastmaster Amina. So, Toastmaster Amina, describe why this thing makes you feel the way it does.
Well, blue is my favorite color. That could be one. But also, it has a mix of green in it. And the best part is, every time I come in touch with this, I am a new person.
That's pretty good. Traitor is gonna have a hard time. Let's move on to the next person, RGE. The one who is taking the report of everybody has to now give a report. Quick one. So, what activities do you prefer doing when you are in the mood of this place?
I love to travel. Who doesn't? So going on a cruise would be amazing. I really wish to do that, and maybe some lovely scuba diving.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Let's go on to Toastmaster Nisha. If you could spend the entire day here, what would you do?
If I could spend the entire day there, I will do nothing. Doing nothing is the most difficult thing. Everyone think it is very easy. We will get so bored. So that will be a very huge task, doing nothing. Simply
Right.
enjoy.
Now I see. So I feel like after listening to your answer, I should also have been an Ayurvedic doctor. So describe a memorable experience you have had when you've been to this place. Toastmaster Rajan, Division E Director. Describe a memorable experience you've had whilst you've been to this place.
Don't tickle me on my feet. Why are you tickling me on my feet? It shows very much disturbances for me. Don't do that. This is what is my memorable experience.
Wow, okay. Things are getting very, very difficult. Dang, Toastmaster Rajan, that was indeed a very, very tricky answer. How does the weather change the feeling of this place? Toastmaster Salma, are you there? Toastmaster Salma, are you there? She's not there. Toastmaster Samia, are you there? Wow. Okay. I think, okay. Toastmaster Seema, you definitely are there, right? Yes. Thank God I'm not hallucinating.
Can you repeat once again?
Yes. How does the weather change the feeling of this place?
I think I the weather is calm, mystery, beauty, and it has life under beneath.
That is a very, very nice answer, and I think this is a very, very beneficial answer to the traitor. Okay. Thank you so much. I'm going to move on to Toastmaster Shweta. Are you there? Toastmaster Shweta? Seems like it's okay. She's gonna come back for evaluation, right? They're gonna wait for her till then. Anyways, timer. Toastmaster Dilip, are you there? Even the timer? Wow. GE, please take notes. GE, please take notes. Okay. Now that everybody has answered, please put in the chat who do you think the traitor is based on all the answers. And then, if you all are right, the traitor loses. If not, the traitor wins. So, everybody who has just answered, please put in the chat who do you think the traitor is. Wow. Toastmaster. Okay. Wow. By the way, please don't DM it to me. Put it in the chat where everybody can see it. Okay, so timer Dilip says it's either Toastmaster Rajan or Toastmaster Amina. Toastmaster Nisha says it's again Toastmaster Rajan. Toastmaster Rajan says it's Toastmaster Seema. And Toastmaster Seema says it's Toastmaster Rajan. I think we have not received a response yet from our general evaluator.
She did. She did. She said DED.
Oh, okay. Nice, 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 nice. So, Toastmaster Rajan, please unmute and tell us if you are the traitor. Just tell us if you're the traitor or not. Unmute and tell us.
I don't think that I am the creator.
You know the traitor, right?
No, no, that's what I think.
Oh, you think that? Okay. Okay. Does anyone wish to mute and unmute and tell why they think Toastmaster Rajendra is a traitor? We'll have one round of cross question or cross talk, and then we will reveal who the traitor is.
It was just his
Does anyone?
answer
Yeah.
where he said, don't tickle my feet. I feel like
Mm,
you wouldn't talk to the ocean that way. I don't know. Maybe.
right. Okay. Okay. Got it. So, Toastmaster Rajay, please reveal to us: are you the traitor or no?
No, I don't think that I am the creator because as I heard from others,
Mm-mm. Okay. So you're not the traitor, right?
no,
So
that's what I think. I don't know.
you think that. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the traitor, could you please unmute and tell us who you are?
Is it Nisha?
Thing means the traitor.
That was awesome.
And Toastmaster Nisha, now that you have heard all the answers, do you know what the word is, what the right word is, what the civilians have gotten?
I have now don't think I have already written here ocean or beach because what cruise I thought that the color
Mm-hmm.
blue green then
Mm-hmm.
till my feet obviously the ocean waves
Oh, okay. Would you like to tell us what word had you gotten?
lake.
Lake. Actually, honestly, I'll tell you something.
Mind
A
blown.
very, very, a very, very big giveaway of her being the traitor was the fact that she was the only one who was writing notes during the whole session. So it was a very, very big
Can you
giveaway. But
repeat the answer? I want to recollect because I had a doubt between her and Rajen, and I felt like no, Rajen should be the one.
what was your answer?
The
No, I want to
word
know the
given
question too.
the word given to me was lake. Then you all got the word ocean, right?
Hmm.
So I had to just connect and not reveal the word so
Yeah.
that you don't feel I am the traitor. So when Asia told cruise, definitely I connected. First,
Hmm.
Amina, anyway, I got lake. So
Hmm.
I was definitely sure it was something related to water only. Then the tickling came. So definitely.
No, but
For
your answer, what was your answer to her question? Because that kind of gave me like a
What
warning
will
bell.
you do at this if you were at this place a whole day? I said I will do
Ah,
nothing.
yes.
Ah, yes. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that was good.
and that was a very, very good answer because it doesn't reveal anything. It doesn't
Yeah.
reveal
Right.
anything. I think the one that revealed the most, according to me
Maybe
at least, was
maybe we
Toastmaster
can think the
Seema's
place
answer.
can be any. Maybe the
Yeah,
place
that's
can be
what.
any. We can think.
But I hardly doubted her because that is her lovely answer. That's her favorite thing to do. Nothing.
Oh,
For me, it was Toastmaster Nisha's, sorry, no, Toastmaster Seema's answer. She literally said, "You find creatures underwater." So I was like,
yes,
okay, wow, that is very, very close to the answer itself. But
yes.
yeah, good job, our traitor. You can write a mystery novel. That's good. That's good. Timer, do we have time? I don't think so because at 8:15 the next session is supposed to start. So I think with that being said, I can conclude this. I hope you had fun. And as promised, you all got to speak. You all got to talk about yourself, how you felt about it. So I think I have very well fulfilled the purpose of being a table topic master as well. And if you want more games like these, next time I'm going to charge 5 reals. So, yes, with that being said, thank you all for contributing, for having fun. Let's keep going like that. And I return back the control to our Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, mastermind, criminal mind. What shall I call you? Toastmaster Sakshi, for that truly fun game. I was so looking forward to it, and it was well worth the wait. Do you all agree? Let's have some thumbs up if you do. And coming back to our story. So, as I said, each of those incidences was a signal. And this is what happens basically. Valentine follows these trails of occurrences to a sweet shop where the lady at the counter tells him that two priests had been there recently. The smaller of the two later returned, claiming that he had misplaced a package and asking that it be sent to an address in Westminster if found. The shopkeeper found the package after the priest had left, and despite having searched unsuccessfully for it when the priest was there, and sent it on as instructed. Now, the shopkeeper says that the two priests were headed for Hampstead Heath, and that is where Valentine follows them stealthily. While he is there, he overhears them involved in a religious debate in which the larger priest, the taller priest, criticizes reason. As they go on discussing and debating, he reveals his identity. He says he is Flambeau, Confidently, he demands the package from Father Brown. When Father Brown refuses, Flambeau very confidently says that he has already obtained the Blue Cross and slipped the priest a dummy package. But Father Brown replies that he switched the packages back at the sweet shop and mailed the cross safely to a friend at Westminster. We'll come back to what happens next, but let's move on to the final segment for today, a segment for thoughtful reflection. This is none other than our general evaluation section, which will be conducted by our GE Toastmaster Asya. Let me introduce her for those who don't know, and that's, I think, just Shweta. She is my sister all the way from Dubai. She is an art enthusiast, a former VPPR and president of Bright Rider School Toastmasters Club, and she is the past area director for Area 13 of Division 127. Professionally, a teacher and a proud mom of two wonderful boys, she understands observation, patience, and growth. Let's see what observations she has about our meeting today. Please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Asya to the virtual stage.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Amina Khanum. I usually, in our division, we usually practice, we don't introduce the other speakers, evaluators. So we give the final evaluation for the whole meeting. So I would encourage you to please introduce the speech evaluators for the other speakers. Yeah? Thank you.
Thank you so much, GE. I would gladly do that because I would like to introduce the two evaluators myself. And first up, we have, sorry, I need to check my agenda. All right, first up is Toastmaster Salma. I have already introduced her, so let me just welcome her to do the honors and evaluate Toastmaster Sakshi. Toastmaster Salma, are you ready? Can you present your evaluation? Seems she's still outside. G, can we move on to the second evaluator? Perfect. So, all right. So I was waiting to introduce the next evaluator myself because she challenged me to introduce her in my own words. So let me tell you a quick short story. My first introduction to this dynamic lady was in my first ever experience of a Toastmasters contest. I was given the task by our DED, then Area 17 director, to actually be the contest chair for table topics, or was it evaluation? And for the area contest, I was hardly into Toastmasters, maybe 3 or 4 months in. And he said the best way to learn would be to go and attend some contests. So it was the division contest happening for her division at that time. And I went in uninvited without paying, which I now realize was so embarrassing, so shameful, going to a contest without paying. Not only that, I went with my daughter. So both of us went as, you know, uninvited guests to a wedding, and we attended this contest. And I was blown away with the humorous contest because this young lady presented her speech, and it was all about her mom and her sister, and I had no clue who they were. I had no clue who she was, and I was just amazed at what a hilarious charming young lady standing so confidently and presenting her life to the world. Cut to, we meet after the contest, and she's like, "Oh, you just walked in?" And I was like, "Yes. I didn't know you could do that too." And I didn't understand why. Now I do. And it was really, really, really embarrassing for me. But coming back to her, this is one of the most talented women in the district. I would say I'm very proud to see her work. She is our district DLI chair. She has come with the most creative ideas to empower and educate, I would say, our members. She has brought wonderful initiatives which are really uplifting, upskilling, and truly educating the people, the members. So something that she introduced this year is Train the Trainer, which I love because we all know how to present, but we don't know how to present effectively in a way that our audience gets the most out of our presentations. And she made sure that she trained a whole batch of people to do that. And she's creating an army of trainers in the district. And I love the work that she does, as you can tell. So without further ado, let me invite distinguished Toastmaster Shweta Raghuraman to do the honors of evaluating our star speaker, Toastmaster Seema. Toastmaster DTM Shweta, the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Evening, Amina, for getting an opportunity to introduce me in your own style. And I really challenge and I really encourage everyone to do that, because let's just do away with the formal introduction and get to know people. But thank you so much for that. I still need to know and still need to recollect our conversation about how you entered the division contest without paying the registration fee, but that's for another time. So, jokes apart, fellow Toastmasters and guests, and especially to my target speaker, Toastmaster Seema Farheen. Wow, I am completely floored by your art of inspiring and persuading people with your life story, especially through your speech entitled Communication Building Confidence, or Communication Builds Confidence to be exact. Toastmaster Seema took us through her journey of becoming a confident communicator by imparting three pearls of wisdom that she's obtained. One being the communication is being the medicine of fear, then being heard is self belief, and foundation of courage. Toastmaster Seema, my evaluation of your speech is going to be on the areas where you exuded a lot of confidence and excelled in your communication through this speech, and also the areas you might want to fine tune and work on to become a much more confident and a much more better communicator. Toastmaster Seema, what I really liked about your speech was how you tried to embody these three pearls of wisdom which you imparted to us in your entire speech structure, which gave a great structure. You explained these three lessons and you backed it with story itself, giving enough amount of credibility and realness to that speech, because it is something that we all have related, we all have gone through at some point in our journey in Toastmasters, and kudos to that. You also had great clarity, eye contact, and your hand gestures was also right and was more effective to most part of during your presentation. Now, these were all what you excelled at. What do you want to work on? Toastmaster Seema, your project was related to engaging your audience with humor. And the objective and the purpose of your project was to determine the style of humor and apply it in a speech that centers around a central message. Although you did have a central message, I just felt the humor aspect required for this project and especially for this speech was missing. So perhaps you might consider revisiting these project objectives and probably redelivering this speech. That is something that I could completely leave it up to you, or maybe apply this speech to another project which will help you in effectively meeting the project objectives. Number two, I did notice that you had great hand gestures. It's just that whenever you had body language, it was very limited, owing to the use of virtual background and also because you were centered and the camera was displaying the torso. So I would request you to place yourself in different directions while you're trying to highlight these three messages. And finally, I've noticed that even though you had these three important messages in your speech, it kind of was repeating in all different stages of your speech. So maybe maintain it as part of the body and the conclusion of your speech, so that will make it a bit more effective in people remembering it. But nevertheless, you have done a great job with your speech by imparting three pearls of wisdom, giving a great structure with a story, and you had great eye contact and hand gestures and a clarity in your speech overall. Just focus on aligning your speech with the project objectives, more purposeful body language and stage movement, and also avoid repeating the message across the speech, and this will make you much more better communicator. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you so much for that detailed evaluation. Let's move on to the next evaluator, but unfortunately, she has had to step out of the meeting due to a personal emergency. Please excuse her and us, GE, for this, and we will have to move on to the rest of the GE segment. Over to you, Toastmaster Asif.
Thank you so much again, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Amina Khanum. And yes, now's the time. What a delightful meeting it has been. Calm, thoughtful, and very much in the spirit of the innocence of Father Brown. Just like Father Brown solves mysteries not through brilliance alone, but through observation and understanding human nature, today's meeting reminded us that discussion is not about proving a point, but about discovering meaning together. So, in my concise manner, please allow me, let me begin with beautiful introductions by the TMOD and wonderful motivation by her to get everyone engaged. I believe, and I can see it for myself with the many meetings that I've attended of this club and a member, that it's not easy to keep everyone active and engaged and participating. So well done on that. As usual for me, the TMOD floored us all whenever she took to the floor. Introductions were varied and on point, suited and crafted to each role, immaculately done. Now, coming to the speeches, very, very well evaluated by Toastmaster Shraddha. That was very well said. I do agree with most and almost all of what she had to say. So it was literally words out of my mouth. So thank you for that beautiful evaluation. For Toastmaster Sakshi, it was supposed to be Toastmaster Salma. However, can I just put in a few words for her? I love the messages and the takeaways from her speech. Embrace the gloriousness that you are. Wonderfully, wonderfully passed on to us. Beautiful nuggets. And say it out loud. These were notes to self and set your boundaries. So, yes, much of that, even I'm sure all of us can relate to and want to imbibe it in our daily lives. We're all going to do that. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sakshi, for that. And then the three nuggets from Toastmaster Seema. Yes, coming to, there was something I also observed, which in this club was, other than the speech, was a definite and a certain camaraderie between the members. There was appreciation beyond the screens, wonderfully encouraging and almost enviable appreciation for the member and everyone was applauding it. Not just applause, it was you're celebrating your member. That is a wonderful thing that I observed, and I would love to see it even in our clubs here. An ardent fan of the mind training games. So that's why for me today the table topics was the superstar. And yes, it was an electric round of table topic, by the way. So the ones who did not make it, totally your loss. But even with limited members, we can achieve this level of fun. So kudos to you, Toastmaster Sakshi. It was amazing. One little tip from me. This is table topics is when all the attendees of the meeting wait for to get a chance to speak on their feet. So, and this is a challenge. This is where you come and challenge yourself and feel exactly what Toastmaster Seema mentioned in her speeches, challenging yourself and coming through your fears. So, although you did care to reiterate that you got everyone to speak, well done on that. But I truly feel every speaker could have been challenged a little more, probably, especially as this is an advanced club. At the end, um, I just want to appreciate the effort in designing a TT round in game style and still meeting the protocol of a Toastmaster meeting and well within time. So very, very well done on that. So if ever as an educator, we have these rubrics. So creativity 200%, very, very, I am so happy today with that. Uh, yes, you all stuck to the time. I was hoping for the timer report for, was that given? I think.
No, so in Qatar, it's the GE who asks the role players to present their report.
Okay.
So you would be the one asking the timer, our counter, and grammarian to present their reports. Do you want to do that, or you want me
Can
to
we have it anyway?
invite them?
Just briefly.
Let's start with the timer because I have the report. Toastmaster Dilip is unable to speak because he's outside, but he shared the report with me. He's still present in the meeting. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Dilip, for that. Meeting start time was at 7:08. All speakers were well within time, except for the evaluator, DTM Shweta, whose evaluation exceeded the time limit. And that's it. We are so far on time, and I would say well within time. Back to you. Oh, sorry. And next we can have the grammarian's report, but she's left the meeting. Sorry for that. Let's have the R counter report from Toastmaster Nation.
Good evening once again. I know why our GE Toastmaster Asia Khanum got confused because the way we follow in our district is entirely different. In our district, the accountant never get a chance to listen to the R of the GE because the GE speaks only in the last. Today, I got the chance to note down the R's of a GE. So I am happy. Now, coming to my report. Today, there was a tight competition holding two big baskets of ants. Can you guess who were the two beautiful ladies fighting for that big basket of ants? And is the word, not for every. I will come to the other. Yeah, one is, of course, our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Amina Khanum. She won the race actually. Toastmaster Sakshi gave her a tight fight. But you lose, Toastmaster Sakshi. After a particular time, I stopped counting both your and I just put it in a big box. Now, coming to the R's. Everyone had. Toastmaster Selma had 2 R's, Toastmaster Amina 4, Toastmaster Sakshi 2, DTM Shweta 5, Toastmaster Asia 6, Toastmaster Seema. She didn't had any R because she was fighting with butt. The winner with butt, 11 butts. And don't think other things, Toastmaster Sakshi. It is B-U-T. Now, our Toastmaster Amina ticked all the boxes. There was a, there was and, there was well, there was but, there was so, there was because, there was okay, there was you know. She only left alone and that everyone today, the and escaped. Now, Toastmaster Sakshi had one well, 12 so's, and so many times. There was some repeats. I said, if I, that was repeats because 3 times. DTM Shweda, 2 times so and 3 times but. DTM Rajin, 6 times and yeah, one was there from him. He contributed to that. Then our respected GE Toastmaster Asiya, she also followed with so and but. That's all from my side. Back to our Toastmaster of the day.
I think that's something we will never forget. That's a report to remember truly. And hopefully, we will try and avoid our filler words. You can see I'm continuing. I already said like 4 ands in this 2 sentences. Back to you, GE, for the rest of your segment.
Thank you everyone for your wonderful reports. Very clear, definitely not concise. So let's all agree that this was one of the best meetings so far. And I think it's just going to get better with every meeting over here, I'm sure. And with every exciting book that we are going to hopefully discuss. Overall, the meeting succeeded not because we agreed, but because we explored. Like Father Brown, we looked beyond appearances and tried to understand the human heart behind the mystery. And that truly is the purpose of reading together. Thank you, everyone, for an engaging and thoughtful evening. Back to you, TMOD.
Let's have those clap emojis on the screen, guys. Let's fill the screen with the claps for our wonderful evaluation. Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator, for your insights. We are going to take your tips into consideration and try to apply them in our next roles. And of course, in the next meeting of Books and Banters Toastmasters as well. Coming back to our story. So let me take you to the final conversation between the two. Where was I? Do you remember?
You were talking about a series of unusual happenings, right? So you were
Yes.
there, you had described 3, you were there.
Yes. So, as I said, Valentine follows these series of unusual events. And one of the shopkeepers also tells him that there were 2 priests who were headed for Hampstead Heath. He followed them and he found them in a heated conversation where Flambeau was telling Father Brown confidently that he had already stolen the blue cross which he mentioned on the train. And Father Brown now then replies to him that he had switched the packages back at the sweet shop and mailed it safely across to a friend in Westminster. And that was where I paused. So Flambeau then says, I don't believe you. I don't believe a bumpkin like you could manage all that. I believe you still got the stuff on you. And if you don't give it up, why we're all alone, and I'll take it by force. So Father Brown simply says, no. And he stood up. You won't take it by force. First, because I really haven't still got it. And second, because we are not alone. Flambeau stopped in his stride forward. "Behind that tree," said Father Brown, pointing to the tree and saying, "Behind that tree are two strong policemen and the greatest detective alive." Flambeau asks, "How did they come here?" "Why, I brought them, of course." "How did I do it?" "Why, I'll tell you if you like." Lord bless you. We have to know 20 such things when we work among the criminal classes. I wasn't sure you were a thief, and it would never do to make a scandal against one of our own clergy, considering that Flambeau was dressed as a priest. He goes on, "So I just tested you to see if anything would make you show yourself. A man generally makes a small scene if he finds salt in his coffee. If he doesn't, he has some reason for keeping quiet. I changed the salt and sugar, and you kept quiet. A man generally objects if his bill is 3 times too big. If he pays it, he has some motive for passing unnoticed. I altered your bill, and you paid it." The world seemed waiting for Flambeau to leap like a tiger, but he was held back as by a spell. He was stunned with the utmost curiosity. "Well," went on Father Brown, with lumbering lucidity, "as you wouldn't leave any tracks for the police, of course somebody had to. At every place we went, I took care to do something that would get us talked about for the rest of the day. I didn't do much harm. A splashed wall, split apples, a broken window, but I saved the cross, as the cross will always be saved. It is at Westminster by now." So, friends, the salted coffee, the inflated bill, the smashed window were all deliberate. Father Brown had already mailed the cross safely away. Observation had defeated arrogance. Father Brown, because he worked with criminals, knew the criminal mentality, how they thought, how they planned, how they did things strategically. And throughout this story, that is exactly what he did to lure Detective Valentine at the footsteps of Flambeau. Before we close, I'd love to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the story, on Father Brown's approach? And if you haven't read the book, would you love to read the remaining 11 short stories that are in the book or no? Please unmute yourself and share your thoughts.
Good evening.
Good
This
evening.
is the first meeting in which I attended without reading the book. For all our past meeting, I had already read the book before joining. So now I am really intrigued. Being the traitor, I need to find out who other traitors are there.
Wonderful, wonderful. Anyone else? Please unmute yourself. I'd like to hear from everyone. Your thoughts, please, on the story, on whether you would like to read the book, or just in general about Father Brown and his approach.
Actually,
Just
there
I
is
want
a
to tell.
person.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, can I just say this? I
Yes,
actually
Yeah,
have to
please.
thank somebody.
please do.
So I would like to thank Toastmaster Sakshi because she was the one who recommended the book, right? She is just amazing. What a book. Like, she is so good. How did she even come up with a book like that? So I would just like to thank her. That's it. Now, a wonderful book. It is so intriguing.
Bravo.
Yes, so all thanks to Toastmaster Sakshi. Thanks. That's it. That is it from my side.
Sorry, I'm not going to let you go that easily. Please share with me, what do you think of Father Brown's approach?
Father Brown's approach was good, but he's still a no voice. Like, I think I could have done better.
You think so?
Yeah.
Read the whole book and tell me afterwards.
Yeah, but on a serious note, I just by reading the title, I thought that, usually when books are titled that way, mostly the protagonist does not turn out to be the culprit, right? But I still wasn't sure. But I also liked that he had his reasoning to do something. He just didn't do it for the sake of it or something. He wanted to get to something which was for the betterment of people, at least from what I understood. So I like that he had a motive. So that is what I enjoyed, because usually you don't see this sort of observatory mindset in the protagonist itself. And even if there is, it just comes from the fact that they're naturally sharp. But here they give us the reason that the reason why somebody's so observant is because they have dealt with criminals. So I like that, they have this so that it makes his understanding for the viewers far more realistic when he does or takes the approaches that he did in the book.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. Anyone
Would like to
else? I
share
think
only one
Seema.
line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to share. I heard this story when I was in school days. There was a play called Bamkesh Bakshi. That is also a detective play. So it happened to be on the channel. So I read that time this story. I thought, means I have to say in one line that his behavior, being a priest, is like integrating human behavior. He's finding the culprit from inside. He don't have any knowledge, but he reads the mind of the people about the behavior of the people, and he find out that she or he is the traitor. That's all I have to say.
Wonderful, Toastmaster Seema. And that's exactly what happens throughout the book. It is a collection of short stories. And in every story, Father Brown is solving some case. It's either a murder or it's a robbery. And he sort of knows who the culprit is and brings out the culprit through his understanding of criminal minds. And this is simply through the confessions that people come and give to him at the church. When they come and confess their crimes and their sins to him, he has understood their way of thinking, their mentality, and that's what he uses to actually pull them out of, and get them caught. Thank you very much. Anyone else would like to share their thoughts?
I also did not read the book. I just read the synopsis or the summary, and was hoping for some more stories of killer instincts from Toastmaster Sakshi, but she's left already.
I don't know how she left, but I think she got disconnected. She should be joining back. DTM Raj, your thoughts on the story?
My thoughts means I have already read Sherlock Holmes. That's what is my detective story, and always I remember that. And that was like, so now a new name is also coming. So we were reading books like crazily at that time. I think that is connecting with Sakshi also, because we came forward from that particular time. So this particular time we will be that much interested to read these type of stories, Sakshi. So please continue that, and of course, and please guide us what to read in future. Of course, I appreciate you in showcasing this particular book, and all the best for Books and Banter, carrying books from that generation. Very well done. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, DTM Rajendra. As you rightly said, she brought a book that is from the past. This book was written somewhere in 1910 or 1911, and I would never touch a book like that unless it was something that was, famous in pop culture. But because she brought it to the table. And I believe that this club is meant to encourage all kinds of genres of books and help us to actually test different kinds of books which we normally wouldn't pick ourselves. So I said, why not, as soon as she suggested this book. And I think it's an easy read for everyone. The stories are very short. You don't need to spend an entire month to read the book, because you can finish each story in a day easily. So let's all aim to finish this book because it really is interesting. If no one else has any thoughts to share, let's quickly wrap up and close the meeting. If you've read the story, please share with us later on in the chat or on our social media page what actually struck you the most about the stories, what really surprised you, anything that you liked about The Innocence of Father Brown. Go ahead and read the remaining 11 short mysteries. If one small priest with a shabby umbrella can outwit Europe's greatest criminal, imagine what 11 more stories reveal. Perhaps the greatest detective is not the strongest, but the one who notices what others overlook. With that, I hand over control back to our presiding officer, who will be Toastmaster Sakshi in the absence of Toastmaster Salma. Toastmaster Sakshi, over to you. And signing off, yours truly, Amina Khanum.
Can we please have a round of applause for her? The book was The Innocence of Father Brown, and the innocent Amina Khanum narrated it so well. It is also, especially for a club like this, I genuinely feel that in order to push somebody to read a book, you need to have narration skills. And to narrate a book in a way that pushes listeners to actually read it, you truly need some skills. So you nailed it through and through because of the way you paced it, the way you voiced it, the way you encouraged us. You asked us questions to see if we were on track. Shows that you truly care about what your listeners are taking away. And I think that is the greatest asset of having a Toastmaster like you. So, indeed, amazing, amazing job. I am truly happy, truly proud. And on that note, I would like to also thank Toastmaster Sakshi again. What a book she suggested. And because the divisionary director really, really was touched by the book itself, sorry, with my suggestion. Uh, uh, uh,
I just said it. In fact, you just left the meeting, and that's when I told everybody that all I did was read the summary of the book, and I came here to listen to your stories on your killer instinct, and then I missed out on that a bit today. So I'm looking forward to hearing more.
that's
So
great.
yeah,
Thank you
that's
so
all
much.
for me.
Have gone through an amazing speech. It touched my heart. Then we have Toastmaster. Welcome. We have Toastmaster Nisha. How did you feel about it? Our one and only traitor of the meeting.
Yeah, today I realized being traitor is not a bad thing. It can also make you happy.
Wow, you are a
I
scare.
must say,
You.
just once again, I must say, take the legacy of our counter. I will take it. Sorry, you should have to give me a copyright. I will take it in my next meeting, this legacy counter.
Sure, sure.
Thank you so much.
Indeed, Toastmaster Nisha, actually, you are funnily scary. You speak in a way that keeps somebody on their edge, on their toes, yet not in a way that can make people unhappy. So you say a lot of important stuff, but in a way that people actually understand and also acknowledge it wholeheartedly without taking it to their heart, which I think is one of the very, very important skills one needs to have. So I truly enjoyed the way you conducted yourself, especially when you gave the accounters report. Not once did I feel that, oh wow, I can improve. I thought that okay, I can improve, and I didn't feel bad about it. I was in fact looking forward to more detailed analysis. So yes, amazing, amazing. Next we have
Toastmaster Sakshi. No, the whole thing is that everyone will be a little bit this about hearing. I use this many times. This okay. We are all here for improvement. So my with my past experience, what I have always learned that when putting this forward in a fun and humorous way, they don't feel okay. Today I use this much. But if we are just simply
hmm,
saying she used this thing in a point, it feels like it is pointing to something. This way, everyone is happy and they will try to improve also.
wow, you're such a kind-hearted traitor. So yes. With that being said, let's move on to our division E director, the one who's gonna write a book on me. Yes, please. I'm all ears.
You want me to write a book on you or your suggestion of the book?
No, 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 on me because I suggested such a good
Okay,
book,
on
right? So
you.
now you
Okay,
can write
okay,
a book
of
on
course.
me.
I'll try out. So regarding the meeting was wonderful. See, as it is related to the tagline of Division E, it was engaging. There was enjoyment, and of course, if there is these two, of course, we'll excel. So that's what I want to point out, and of course, make sure that you're continuing this pattern. And if I am naming the role player of the day, I will give two role players of the day. One is Sakshi, who did that table topics. It was wonderful. I'm first time attending that, and I was not related much, but it was awesome. And our counter Toastmaster Nisha Muhammad, because see, this is what is called engagement. See, if you're taking a role, anybody can take any roles. It's about how engaged you are and how you're making other people engaged. That matters the most, and you have excelled on that. And thank you very much. And I'm not, so I must mention Toastmaster of the Day, Amina, for the effort, because the book review you want to read, then you want to have it. So all the best for you. And what I will suggest is take some books. It is not, it's only my suggestion. You can plan, because see, whatever books will bring improvement for you, because see, what's in it for me, that's what you want to understand, right? So you want, if you are having more members, how it will be benefiting them. It must not be only about one particular story, or have one, okay, of course you can have a novel or something, but in a meeting, make sure that there is something for learning also. So please make sure that you are getting in that pattern also. I would also like to suggest one book, and uh, that I want to suggest. I'm not sure that have you read that or not. It's called Four Disciplines of Execution. We'll be telling about how you want to execute something. It's called 4DX. So it's a great book, and see what all as of course I hope that everybody know I'm into learning and development. So whatever I'm reading, I'll try to implement. So if we can implement, that's the best way, because it will be will be having a great knowledge acquired, and of course when you're doing it, it will be engraved in your brain. That's what I'm telling always. So all the best, and rock on Books and Panther always. Thank you very much for inviting me also, Amina. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Division E Director. Your energy is amazing. Didi, you
Can we
rock
do
as well.
just a small suggestion from my side? Maybe it will benefit you. If we have a long book, means long story, can we divide into two parts? One is one other meeting, and other half is other meeting carried on. Is it okay to have that, so that we will grab all the book? You got
We
my point.
can, yes, I know, to split the book
Yeah,
review
split the
or
book in
reading.
one meeting, another meeting. Yeah.
See, the issue with that is already we are spacing out our meetings into 1 month away. We're meeting only once a
Okay.
month, and one
Okay.
whole month is enough to read a book. I don't think you can take 2 months to read one book. It's a bit too much. We might not also what we're trying to do here is to inspire the love of reading. So if we are going to go into too much detailed dissection, I don't know how it would work, but we can try. Let's try it out.
Right. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amina. Let me just officially adjourn the meeting, please. So, every book we explore leaves a small mark on us. It shapes us the way we think, the way we speak and understand the world. I hope you leave today feeling inspired and to keep reading and reading. Thank you for being a part of this community and for making this meeting meaningful. With this, I officially adjourn meeting number 7 of Books and Banter Toastmaster Club. This was your presiding officer, and yes, that is it from our side. Let's meet next month with a good book. Thank you.